Tonight on CTV News, we're covering the first presidential debate.
And then stick around because we have information on the recent quarantine at CSU dorms, as well as the documentary celebrating 150 years of CSU. All that and more on CTV News starting now.
Good evening, Rams. I'm Kenneth Frederick.
And I'm Alexandria Cohen. Welcome to the Thursday Night News Show. A lot has happened this week, so let's get right into it.
Tuesday was the first of 3 presidential debates between President Trump and former Vice President Biden. The debate was a unique one that showed how polarizing this election is going to be.
The night started off as any presidential debate would, with the explanation for the rules of the debate. Moderator Chris Wallace of Fox News explained that both candidates would have 2 minutes to answer questions before the other candidate could respond. That would be a rule that would be broken repeatedly throughout the night. The debate had covered many talking points from both of the candidates' running platforms. Wallace had told the candidates that he would like to discuss 6 points throughout the debate. They were the Supreme Court, COVID-19, the economy, records of the candidates, racism, and the integrity of the election. But much of the debate was bickering between Trump, Biden, and Wallace. Wallace had to stop the debate midway to call out President Trump for his interruption.
I'm appealing to you, sir, to do that.
Well, and him too.
Well, frankly, you've been doing more interrupting
that's
than
all
he
right,
has.
but he does plenty.
According to the majority of media outlets, the consensus is that Biden won the debate overall. However, 3 polls at CNBC report that people are upset with the content the debates are currently covering and wish the candidates would use more of their time to talk about the real concerns going on within the country. Students also feel like the debate isn't very helpful due to the fact that many people feel locked into their candidate choices by this point. When it comes to the debate, many students felt like the candidates didn't do things the right way.
In a political standpoint, how they try to get their point across by being rude and stuff, I don't think that's the correct way to address the situation.
There's still 2 more presidential debates that are going to come before the election on November 3rd. The next debate will be on October 15th and will be hosted by Steve Scully of C-SPAN.
While the presidential debates are keeping in the nation's suspense, here at CSU we have some good news. On Tuesday, Colorado State University lifted the quarantine on Brayden and Summit residence halls. 6 residents of Brayden Hall and 3 residents of Summit Hall tested positive and have moved to separate isolation areas on campus. CSU President Joyce McConnell sent out an email addressing students and congratulating them on everyone's combined efforts to keep the campus safe. President McConnell stated in her email to students that there will be 2 different COVID-related town hall meetings. One was tonight from 6 to 7, and the other one will be tomorrow morning from 9 to 10.
While the quarantine has been lifted in Brayden and Summit Halls, new outbreaks are far from over. 3 fraternities have new outbreaks of the coronavirus as of yesterday, bringing the number of fraternities and sororities with outbreaks up to 6. Phi Kappa Phi fraternity has 4 cases, while both Phi Delta Theta and Sigma Pi have 2 confirmed cases each. This brings the total number of cases from fraternities and sororities this semester up to 33. If you or anyone you know have symptoms, you can find resources at covidrecovery.colostate.edu and testing sites at larimer.org/health.
CSU is not the only community dealing with the effects of the pandemic. Last week, Boulder County Public Health announced that gathering of individuals between 18 to 22 were prohibited for 2 weeks. This included anywhere indoors and outdoors. This comes after the spike in cases where over 1,300 staff and students from CU Boulder tested positive. The order states that failure to comply could result in fines up to $5,000 and imprisonment in county jail for up to 18 months. This order is effective from September 24th to October 8th, unless extended or modified by Boulder County Public Health.
The effects of COVID vary throughout the state, but the outcome of the senatorial race will affect all Colorado residents. If you've been seeing ads about the upcoming election around anywhere, the names Gardner and Hickenlooper might sound familiar to you. After dropping out of the Democratic presidential primary back in August, former Governor John Hickenlooper is making a run against incumbent Cory Gardner for Colorado's senatorial position. They'll be having their first debate on October 13th. The debate comes as Democrats attempt to take control of the Senate and the White House this November, while Republicans will be running to keep their seats. Anyone who would like to watch the debate can find it on 9 News from 6 to 7 o'clock.
On Tuesday night, 12-year-old Hunter Denny was reported missing from Pristine Pines Lane and Deer Springs Lane area west of Red Mountain Open Space near the Wyoming state border. Hunter is 5 feet tall, 100 pounds, and has brown hair and brown eyes. He was last seen wearing blue jeans, a tan Carhartt jacket, red baseball cap, and possibly a green shirt. His family last saw him Tuesday around 3 in the afternoon when he got into an argument with his family and left his home. He did not return. Anyone with information about Hunter and his whereabouts are asked to call Larimer County Sheriff Office at 970-416-1985.
CSU's historical documentary, The Great Experiment, 150 Years of CSU, premieres tonight on Rocky Mountain PBS. The documentary is all about the historic moments that have taken place at CSU in its century-and-a-half existence. It's the culmination of 3 years' work and contains clips from around 9,000 videos. It'll feature never-before-seen footage and give viewers an idea of what CSU looked like all those years ago. If you would like to watch at home, it'll be premiering at 8 o'clock on Rocky Mountain PBS.
Unfortunately, the smoky air along the Front Range is still here. With the Cameron Peak Fire and Mullen Fire north of Rocky Mountain National Park, the air has still been smoky for weeks. Ash was seen around Fort Collins, Boulder, and Denver homes. Denver was even rated to have the most polluted air in the world on Saturday. The Colorado Department of Public Health and Environment is encouraging residents to stay inside when possible. Outdoor exercises and other activities are also not encouraged. On a positive note, Weston Hubbard has some sustainable initiatives happening here at CSU.
CSU is known for being a school that reps a lot of green color, but did you know that we're actually known for being extremely green in a sustainable way as well?
Campus may be slowly turning yellow, but it's staying green in a big way.
For the past 7 years, CSU has maintained pretty high spots on some lists, all talking about how sustainable our campus is and how willing we are to be green and teach about being green here on campus.
According to Source.Colorado State, CSU has ranked 7 out of 312 institutes from all around the country on a list that they call Cool Schools. The Cool Schools list based their rankings off of multiple different factors, such as operations, academics, and engagement. According to Source.Colorado State, CSU's president Joyce McConnell was quoted saying, "CSU is proud to be recognized among Sierra Club's Cool School list. This recognition underscores this incredible and intention efforts of the entire CSU community." CSU has also several LEED Platinum and Gold certified buildings on campus, such as Laurel Village Pavilion, the Durrell Center, and Summit Hall. LEED stands for Leadership in Energy and Environmental Design and is used as a rating system when evaluating how green a building is. According to CSU's housing website, some of the improvements they've made to housing options over the years include on-site solar arrays, several renovations to existing structures to make them more green, and changing things such as shower heads to low-flow models to save water consumption. Overall, CSU's green shines far beyond the school's colors, and maybe they can even make some more improvements over the years to come to number 1 on one of these lists.
Really cool that we all get to be part of a school that it takes pride in its ability to help the world every single day.
I agree, Weston. CSU's work to keep our community green is really amazing. On another note, the Netflix documentary titled American Murder, The Family Next Door, premiered on Netflix last night. This documentary talks about the Chris Watts murders. Chris Watts admitted to killing his pregnant wife, Shannon, and their 2 daughters in Frederick, Colorado in August of 2018. Watts first denied having any involvement with his family's disappearance, but later confessed to the murders and having an affair. He was sentenced to 3 consecutive life sentences, 2 concurrent life sentences, 48 years until lawful termination to a pregnancy, and 12 years for each of the counts of tampering with a dead body.
Well, Rams, this concludes our news segment for tonight.
Stick around to see what's happening next in entertainment with Angel Cooper.
Listen, you're my friend.
I noticed you haven't really been yourself recently.
Yeah, I feel like something's up.
How are you?
Are you okay?
Is there anything you want to talk about?
I just want to know how you're feeling.
And listen, even if you don't know what to say, I'm here to talk.
No matter what you're going through,
I just want you to know I'm here. I've got your back.
when you want to talk, I'm here.
Welcome back, Rams. I'm Angel Cooper, and I'm your entertainment anchor for Thursdays. We have a lot of entertainment news to talk about, so let's get started. CSU's Act Human Rights Film Festival will be having their 5th annual film festival online starting today and lasting until the 10th. The virtual experience is for students, and you can enjoy your films and Q&As from anywhere in the United States. There will be some films to celebrate Pride Month and the Black Lives Matter movement as well. All of the feature filmmakers will be participating in either live or pre-recorded conversations that will air after the screenings of their films. All films and filmmakers' Q&A will be available through the Eventides website. The Black and African American Culture Center at CSU hosted their Homecoming Spirit Week. Throughout this week, this center encouraged students to wear their things that made them feel good, to dress as memes, and even to wear pajamas to school. Sounds like a good time to me. To participate, students could either submit pictures through Black and African American Culture Center Instagram or stop by their office. Today is October 1st, which means Halloween is in 30 days. I have been meaning to create some decorations for Halloween, and luckily I found a place where you can do homemade decorations. The Board and Brush will be hosting their Monsters and Ghosts Make and Take workshop that will provide Halloween themed stencils, and you can make your own spooky monsters or ghosts. This creative project will only take 15 minutes. Take-home stencils will be available as well if you want to continue the fun at home. You can purchase as many or few as you like, and the event will be tomorrow evening from 5 to 9. Now that is October, that means pumpkins, candy, and corn mazes. I love fall so much, and I want to go to a pumpkin patch that has animals and a corn maze. I think I found a place, and it's Bartle's Farm. Bartle's Farm is unique in its own way, and it's not like usual pumpkin patches.
I think we all offer different things. Bartle's Pumpkin Patch, we're kind of more family oriented. We don't do an entrance fee. I think we kind of cater to people who really can't afford some of the other stuff. And so that's why we opened it up like we did.
Not only do they have a corn maze and animals, but they offer more things to do with the family.
They can have picnics. We do birthdays. They can come play on the playground.
Even though there's a pandemic, they still encourage people to come and visit the farm.
I think this is what people need, to be outside. They need to connect back with just being outside and not being confined.
Bartle's Farm is very passionate about making sure everyone has a good time.
We just love what we do. We like to open it to everyone.
I love how it's family run and there's so much to do there. Welcome to What's the Hype, where I'll be filling you in on what's popping on social media. I have some exciting news. Shawn Mendes has announced new music. The singer changed his whole social media theme after tweeting the title of his new song, #Wander. He announced the news yesterday and immediately started trending on Twitter. He then dropped a teaser for the song Wander.
You have a million different faces, but they'll never understand
Shawn Mendes' vocals, though. Mendes is expected to release Wander this Friday and his 4th studio album on December 4th. In more music news, Taylor Swift is back yet again with breaking records. Swift becomes the first and only female artist to have 6 albums with over 1 billion streams on Spotify. Just wow. She continues to be an inspiration to me by the way how she writes her music. You go, girl. Now, let's get into movies. After a long 11 years, fans of Avatar can finally hop back into the world of Pandora. The director James Cameron confirmed that the long-awaited sequel of Avatar, made in 2009, has completed production. He said, "We're 100% complete on Avatar 2, and we sort of 95% have Avatar 3 completed. I saw Avatar a few months ago during quarantine, and I was a little upset because I was ready for Avatar 2. So I can't imagine how people who watched it in 2009 are feeling." Avatar 2 is expected to be released December 17th, 2021. Well, Rams, that's all I got for you this week. Stay tuned after the break to hear Yanae Moran talk about warm temperatures in the fall.
Dad?
Just 1 minute, okay?
Hey, Bobo, do trees tell each other stories?
I'm sorry. I'm afraid I don't know that.
Hey, why don't we go find out? Listen.
Do clouds take naps?
I couldn't tell you.
Can birds draw pictures?
I don't have an answer for that.
Dad, do stars visit their friends?
Look!
Bienvenidos, damas y caballeros. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. I am Yanae Moran here with the weather tonight, telling you what the weather will look like for this week. So let's go ahead and take a look. Right now, our current conditions are at 59 degrees. It is clear with few clouds, humidity at 37%, and then we have winds at 47 miles per hour headed northeast. Let's take a look at what it was like on campus today. Today on campus, as you can see, we did have a bit of wind. It was also a bit chilly. As you can see, the leaves are starting to change colors. We can see here a beautiful scenery with fall coming in since it is October 1st. Let's take a look at our overnight lows. For our overnight lows along the Front Range here, we will be in the 40s with 43 in Fort Collins, Denver at 48, and then Pueblo headed down to 42. Along our mountainside here, Grand Junction our highest at 48, and then Telluride at 34. Again, over here on the eastern side in Burlington at 38, and then Lamont at 41. Now for tomorrow's highs, we will be in the 70s along our Front Range with Denver at 78, Pueblo our highest at 83, so don't pull out those jackets just yet. Along our mountainside here, Grand Junction our highest at 81, and in our eastern side here in Burlington at 79, and Lamar our highest at 84. So don't keep those jackets stored because it is still warm. Now for tomorrow's forecast in Fort Collins, our high will be at 78 with a low of 46. It will be partly cloudy, and if you are an early riser, you are very lucky because if you try to beat the sunset or the sunrise, it will be at 6:58, so it is a little bit later, but then the sunset back down at 6:39. For our 5-day forecast, we will be, again, Friday at 78 with a low of 46. Saturday, back down to 68 degrees with a low of 41. Sunday, back up to 76. It is very sunny. And then Monday, of course, being very warm with 83 degrees. Unfortunately, we will be working, so we won't be able to enjoy the outdoors. And then Tuesday, again, at 78 with a low of 46. That is all we have for the weather tonight. I do encourage for you to stay at home, inside your home, because we do have unhealthy air quality. But don't go away just yet. Stick around to see what's happening in sports with Brendan Fairbairn after the break.
So there you are, shuffling through a stack of resumes and you come to mine. This is it. First impression. My way in. But here's the thing. Can my resume show you how I truly stand out? can one piece of paper really tell you my whole story? Like that I was studying, going to night school while working 2 jobs just to help my parents pay for groceries. Or how anytime there was an opportunity, I was the first one to step up. Because I wasn't gonna let my life, my circumstances dictate who I was gonna become. And all of that determination, the commitment, the drive, that's me. And that's something you just can't put on paper. Look beyond the resume, discover new ways to develop great talent like me.
Welcome back from the break ramps into your Thursday night sports show, The Blitz, hosted by yours truly, Brendan Fairbairn. There were plenty of next-level Rams who balled out this past Sunday in the NFL, and the MLB playoffs finally started on Tuesday night. With this being said, I have a lot of sports action to cover for you all tonight, so let's get it started. Week 3 of the NFL was a big one for 3 former CSU stars. To start it off, Tampa Bay Buccaneers edge rusher Shaquille Barrett had a great homecoming game against his former team, the Denver Broncos. Barrett finished the game with 6 tackles, 2 sacks, and a safety, terrorizing Denver's quarterbacks all afternoon in a blowout victory for the Bucs. Dallas Cowboys star receiver Michael Gallup had his first touchdown and 100-yard game on the season in a loss against the Seattle Seahawks and leading MVP candidate Russell Wilson. Ultimately, the former CSU legend finished with 6 catches, 138 yards, a 43-yard touchdown, and most impressively of them all, an amazing highlight reel catch off an inaccurate throw from quarterback Dak Prescott. Moving on to another former CSU wideout, Preston Williams also got his first touchdown reception of the year for the Miami Dolphins on the Thursday night primetime stage against the Jaguars in Jacksonville. Preston had 2 catches for 7 yards along with the touchdown. In other CSU football news, new head coach Steve Adazio continues to bring his ACC head coaching experience to the Mountain West, landing 3 offensive line transfers from his former team, Boston College. 2 tackles Cam Reddy and Elijah Johnson and guard Adam Karutz will join returning CSU starters Barry Wesley, Keith Williams, and Scott Brooks to create a strong sense of competition in the trenches. Especially with an abbreviated season, Coach Adazio knows that having players that already know the fundamentals of his system is a big advantage for his first season in Fort Collins. When asked, Coach Adazio had this to say about his 3 former linemen coming to CSU. We use the transfer portal to help solidify different positions. Certainly with those guys coming in, they bring knowledge and experience and help us build our talent base. In 2019, the Rams finished in the bottom half of the conference in terms of sacks allowed, ending 8th out of the 12 teams with 27 total sacks. Coach Adazio and the CSU football team will be looking to fix this problem with the addition of these new offensive linemen. Moving on from college football and into pro football, for contender or pretender, I'm going to look at the red-hot Kansas City Chiefs' chances to repeat as Super Bowl champions. The Chiefs are off to a strong start to the 2020 season with a 3-0 start, including victories over the Texans, Chargers, and Ravens. But the real questions are, how will they finish their season off, and how likely are they to make another championship run when playoff time starts? So let's look at their strengths. In 2019, there's no question that their offense carried them, resulting in Kansas City's first Super Bowl victory in 50 years. Last year, the Chiefs had the 17th ranked total defense in the league with 19 points allowed per game, while their total offense was ranked 6th, scoring 28 points per game, led by 2018 MVP quarterback Patrick Mahomes, the speedster Tyreek Hill, and of course, their perennial All-Pro tight end Travis Kelce. With the victory in Super Bowl 54, Andy Reid proved he is a Hall of Fame coach, finally winning the big one despite his 11-13 playoff record. Looking at their strengths, besides their star-studded offense, the Chiefs safety duo is also one of their biggest strengths. Between All-Pro Tyrann Mathieu and second-year free safety Juan Thornhill, they had 7 interceptions and 2 sacks throughout the season. So let's look at their weaknesses. Looking at the rest of their roster, their cornerback position is their number 1 weakness. Rashad Brayden is serving a 4-game suspension, and Travius Ward and Rashawn Fenton are good young options, but still need time to develop in a pass-first league. Besides this, it's been so far so good for the Chiefs' pass defense, who are 4th in the league with pass yards allowed with 202 yards per game. Through 3 games, their second biggest weakness is again on defense, with their middle linebackers Anthony Hitchens and Damian Wilson. Between the two in 2019, they only had 2 forced fumbles, 2 sacks, and 0 interceptions. They can play well. They run well, but they need to be bigger playmakers, especially in their pass rush and coverage skills. In the end, last year, the Chiefs proved that saying defense wins championships wrong, with their explosive playmakers on offense continuing to prove that they are atop the league's best, especially after their dismantling of the Ravens' elite defense last Monday night. They can easily do the same this year with 20 of their 22 starters from their 2019 Super Bowl championship team returning. They are easily contenders. They are the best team in the AFC. But for football fans, the NFL playoffs are sadly months away. But for those looking for current postseason action, the MLB playoffs started on Tuesday night. The LA Dodgers lead the National League as the NLS first seed. But since 2002, only 5 first seed teams in the MLB have won the World Series. Can the Dodgers finally get through that curse and win their first World Series since 1988? Well, let's see what they do best. They are first in the league with runs at 349, first in the league with home runs at 118, and second in the league with runs batted in at 327. They're led by right fielder Mookie Betts, he's 47 in runs at 4th in the league, 64 hits at 16th in the league. He has 16 home runs at 5th in the league, and has 34 RBIs. But now let's look at pitching. As any championship baseball team needs, the LA's pitching has been very effective as well, almost as effective as their hitting. They are first in the league in earned run averages at 3.02, first in the league in batting average against at .213, and they're second in runs allowed at 209. They're also second in home runs allowed at 66, and they are led by pitching trio Clayton Kershaw, Dustin May, and Julio Urias. Between the three, they have a 2.66 earned run average and a .211 batting average against them. The Dodgers ended their 2020 regular season with the best in the MLB with the 43-17 record and with a positive run differential of 349 to 213. But none of that will matter if they choke again in the World Series, just like they did in 2018 against the Boston Red Sox. But I truly feel the Dodgers are destined to win their first World Series in 32 years due to their league hitting and their very effective pitching game and rotation. They are absolutely contenders. They are the most well-balanced team in the MLB. I have them winning the World Series. But I am putting my money on the Dodgers to win the World Series this year. But right now, let's bet on some big-time Week 4 NFL matchups. For this week's version of What Are the Odds? For the over-under, I have the Falcons versus Packers. I have the over at 56.5. The Falcons are averaging 30 points per game. And the emergence of Todd Gurley and Calvin Ridley are showing me flashbacks of their 2016 Super Bowl offense. The Packers are averaging a league-high 40 points per game, mainly due to Aaron Jones and the magic of fired-up Aaron Rodgers. Through 3 losses, the Falcons' defense allowing 36 points per game. Green Bay's defense is also struggling, allowing 28 points per game. This is absolutely going to be a shootout between these two because of the quarterbacks of Matt Ryan and Aaron Rodgers. Moving on to spread, though. This is my favorite bet of the week. I had the Bills -3 against the Las Vegas Raiders. The Bills have the 3rd total offense, while the Raiders have the 27th ranked defense in the league. Josh Allen is absolutely on fire, coming off a 5-touchdown game against the Rams. And the addition of Stephon Diggs at wide receiver has been absolutely huge. With the Raiders defense giving up 30 points per game, the Bills should easily win this game by more than 3 points. Well, Rams fans, that's all the sports action I have for tonight. Make sure to tune in on Monday for my game-by-game analysis of CSU's new 8-game schedule. Have a wonderful weekend, and we'll see you on Monday for CTV Sports.